Hello, my nerds and nerdettes. This is what I would do if I was creating the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So on YouTube, I'm going to be called the MCRU. This is basically what I would do. So instead of Kevin Feige or whoever created the Iron Man movie, and I was the head of that, what would I do? So yeah, Phase 1 is the rise of heroes. Here you can see some of the heroes that will in fact appear in this. Which first movie is the rise of the Fantastic Four. The main villain would be Mole Man, and Valeria and Franklin Richards would be in it. I'm also gonna do casting. So Mole Man cast is Danny DeVito as Mole Man. Can you tell? Can you tell why I'm calling them? They're both short, have very little hair, and both are short. Reed Richards cast was Keanu Reeves because my Reed Richards would basically be stern. And he'd basically be a stern person, and basically as stern as John Wick. So in other words, John Wick, both powers and stretch and more sciencey. Next up is Ben Grimm, aka The Thing, and I'm casting John Cena. You can tell why, right? You can pull off the angry. Ryan Gosling is playing the Human Torch because blonde, and I did in fact see the Barbie movie, and I feel like that he could play the Human Torch well, just by upping the ego and lessening the silliness. Yeah. Melissa Benoist is playing Invisible Woman in my universe. Yeah, you can tell, right? You can tell why. Also, the Valeria and Franklin cast are going to be Tom Holland and Millie Alcock. The reason is because I want them to be at this age, so at the third movie, I could do something special. You'll see when we get there. The main plot would be Mole Man would be basically like a terrorist using his staff to control the mole people and like destroying a bunch of places. And by the way, Victor Von Doom would be in it, but he would only be in it for a little bit and presumed dead after they crash due to the cosmic rays. Valerian Franklin is in fact in this movie again, but they're only side characters, really. They're not really that important. They're just side characters and drives from Sue and Reed and the whole entire team. Ben and Johnny would be butting heads during the whole movie about who's more of the powerhouse, because Johnny does fire and Ben is rock person. And they'd also be fighting over who's the better uncle to Franklin and Valeria. The Fantastic Four would defeat Mole Man by destroying his stick, which is what Mole Man uses in my universe to control the mole people. And once that does, he'd basically be eaten alive by them. Yeah, sad for mole person, mole man. Anyway, Franklin, and in the post-credit scene, Franklin? Ah, can't talk. Franklin would talk to Valeria and show her that he has powers, and the two siblings would decide to keep the fact that Franklin has powers from their parents to set up some of the next movie for the Fantastic Four. Not the next movie in the universe, Fantastic Four. The next movie is going to be Iron Man. The main villain is the Mandarin, and Emma Frost makes an appearance. I'll explain that once we get there. Some of the other returning casts that were cast in the MCU, simply because I can't think of other people, are Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper, Don Cheadle as Rhodey, Tony Leung as the Mandarin, and Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. And also, we're also keeping Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I just figured since he's the main character, he should get his other thing. The Emma Frost cast is in fact... Oh yeah, Happy Hogan, by the way, I forgot about this. This is not Emma Frost. Mark Ruffalo is not playing Emma Frost, but Mark Ruffalo is playing Happy Hogan. You'll see that once we get to the Hulk movie. Why? I just felt bad for him and figured, you know what, I'm gonna still make him in this. And he's gotta be more close to Tony. So yeah, he's playing Happy Hogan. The Happy Hogan actor isn't appearing, to my knowledge, at this time. And this is the Emma Frost actor, Helena Matson, as Emma Frost. You can see why, right? You can see why? And I feel like she could pull it off. Yeah. Alright. So the main plot is the origin of Iron Man and his plan to take the main... Wait, what? Okay. Okay, the origin of Iron Man as his plan is taken. Okay, I can't talk. There are some typos in this. So basically, the first like fourth of the movie would be the origin of Iron Man and his escape from the Ten Rings. And yeah, Emma, and basically for the first half of the movie, Pepper, Rhodey, Happy, and Emma Frost would be his like support. However, in the second act, at the end of the second act, Emma would leave because she's offered a little position in something that she doesn't mention. Hellfire Gala. Hellfire. And in the final like fight, basically in this, I'm gonna explain something. Mandarin is a better father than Tony's dad, as in he cares for his son, Shang-Chi. And in the final battle, it would be Iron Man and Rhodey along with Pepper in the thing. Also, Jarvis doesn't appear in here because I wanted to save him and figured that Iron Man wouldn't think to make an eye yet. And the Mandarin and Shang-Chi would have a father and son. Yeah, this Rhodey would have some sort of like sonic gun to try to help Iron Man, but he would get his leg injured by Shang-Chi, and that would basically put Rhodey out of commission for the rest of the fight. At the end, there would be no winner, but rather a draw, in the fight once Shang-Chi gets injured somehow. And since Mandarin is more of a caring father than Tony's dad, Mandarin would escape once his son gets injured, and also Tony and Pepper would get together. In the post-credit scene, this is big. Tony would visit Rhodey in the hospital and tell him that he made Rhodey a suit for him when he gets out of the hospital, known as the Mark WM, or Mark War Machine, teasing War Machine for the next movie that Rhodey's in. The next movie is going to be the final movie for this video, which will cover why I'm casting Mark Ruffalo as Happy Hogan. So first, this movie, there would be two main villains for one half and the next half. Thunderbolt Ross and Abomination. And there would also be a lot more side characters. A lot more. First up, we're casting Edward Norton as Hulk, as I feel like I liked the Hulk movie. And I feel like that they stepped too far recasting him to Mark Ruffalo. So yeah, I just wanted to keep Edward Norton, honestly, yeah. And, so Jennifer Walters appeared in this movie. She's played by Aubrey Plaza as Jennifer Walters. She would not turn into She-Hulk, but stay as Jennifer Walters the entire movie. She stays Jen. We'd also see, Amadeus Cho, played by Stephen Young, as Amadeus. We'd see Doc Samson, played by Leonard Samson, as Doc. And Thunderbolt Ross, I'm just going to make it a Harrison Ford, as I kind of want him to start young but grow old. Also, he's not, I forgot to write this, but he is not the Hulk. He's not turning to Red Hulk. He's staying as that guy, not that guy. That guy, not that guy. No, yeah, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Got it, alright. Also, Absorbing Man is going to be in this, and he's going to be played by Joseph Grant. You can see why, right? They're both and the returning cast from the MCU is Claudia Kim as Helen Cho, Tim Roth as Abomination, and Liv Tyler as Betty Ross. And so the main plot, Thunderbolt Ross would be the main villain for the first half of the movie and send Abomination and Emil Blonsky after the Hulk. Emil would stay in his human form until the end of the second act, where he would become the Abomination fully and would beat Absorbing Man to nearly death to show Hulk that he's slightly stronger, and that Hulk is not the strongest there is. Abomination would be stopped by the end, and while Hulk's allies would be allowed to leave, Hulk himself would still be hunted by General Thunderbolt Ross, because, you know, Thunderbolt Ross, he ain't gonna let the Hulk go no matter what he does. Unless he avenges. There would also be a post-credit scene. This one's more of a joke one, and teasing when these three eventually get their gamma powers. But we would see Jennifer and Amadeus talk with Doc Samson about if there could be more Hulks. Now, this is the first part. There's a lot more to this. Actually, no, we're gonna do one more. Ant-Man Rise. Hank Pym would be Ant-Man, the villain is Scarlet Beetle. Alright, we're gonna get to that. Yeah. You thought we were... Did you hear that guy from sports? Job ain't finished. Scarlet Beetle is going to be the villain, which is this guy, and the cast is Morgan freaking Freeman. A giant CGI beetle voiced by Morgan Freeman. It's like, that guy's voice. You got it? Also, he has mind powers. We'll explain that once we get there. And also, John Krasinski is Hank Pym. That's because I wanted him and Hank and Janet to already be married. I feel like John Krasinski could pull that because his wife will in fact be playing the Wasp. Emily Blunt as Janet Van Dyne. Yeah, I really want Hank and Janet to have that, like, wife and husband feeling, and I feel like that a real couple that would be able to pull it off, and I feel like John could. Yeah. Bill Foster would in fact be in here. He's played by Craig Robinson. And he would not get his suit until the second movie that he is in. Not the second Ant-Man movie, the second movie he's in. Just like War Machine. And there would be another villain, Whirlwind. And he would be played by B.J. Novak as Whirlwind. He would be mind-controlled by Scarlet Beetle. Alright? I'm revealing that part. Also, the returning cast from the MCU, only one person from the MCU is staying. And for this movie is Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. The main plot. The first half of the movie would be Whirlwind gathering parts of a bomb, and Ant-Man and the Wasp would be trying to stop him and figure out why. Whirlwind would get unmind-controlled by a punch and tell the duo that he was being mind-controlled by the Scarlet Beetle, Morgan Freeman. The bomb would be releasing chemicals to kill all humans and let beetles rule the world, because that's kind of Scarlet Beetle's whole thing. Yes. I don't know why I went Russian. Why did I go Russian? Scarlet Beetle would be defeated and shrunk and sent to the raft with Whirlwind by the end of the movie. And post-credit scenes, there would be two. For the first one, Hank would give Bill the Goliath suit to turn the duo into a trio. And we would see Nick Fury offer a job to Hank and Janet at S.H.I.E.L.D. Special Operatives. And also, I'm just going to cover Thor, Prince of Asgard. It would be the exact same movie as the first Thor movie, but with a few changes. No Hawkeye cameo. A post-credit scene would show that Loki is unearthed in the sewers, and Jane Foster would be a paramedic, and Darcy would be the scientist. And these are the suits for Loki and Thor, as I really like these suits. I really like these. But yeah. The next video will cover the Avengers movie and two projects that would come after it. But yeah, this is it for this video. See ya. And peace.